Greetings, vault dwellers and spellbound weirdos. Ready your broomsticks and sharpen your sacrificial daggers, for today we embark on a devilishly delightful countdown, 13 wicked witch movies. This is a devilishly good celebration of cinematic spell slingers, hex hurlers, and broom-riding bombshells who have blazed their fiery path through horror history. Witches have enchanted cinema since the silent era, but in these B-movies, they truly found their voice. From cursed virgins to blood-soaked pagan queens, these witches often bore the worst accusations: nudity, necromancy, and sometimes both in the same scene. Yet here on Retro Vault, we embrace the truth. Everyone loves a sexy witch, especially one with bad intentions and questionable taste in men. Whether you're on Team Midnight Gathering or Foggy Graveyard Seance, buckle in and prepare to fly headlong into 13 wonderfully low-budget encounters with the occult. Let the cackling commence. Let's begin our journey in the mossy bayous of Louisiana with The Witchmaker. This film follows a parapsychologist who leads a group of psychic students deep into the swamp to investigate a series of ritualistic murders. As they delve deeper, they come face to face with a warlock named Luther the Berserk and his disgruntled coven of witches, none too pleased about intruders in their domain. The Witchmaker is a psychedelic fusion of voodoo, astral projection, and midnight blood rituals. Each witch in the coven embodies a distinct magical archetype: necromancer, clairvoyant, and seductress. Luther, the warlock, looks as if he stumbled from a biker flick right into a satanic ritual, embodying chaotic energy and maniacal cackles. Cheap, campy, and dripping with atmosphere, this movie unfolds at a slow burn, packed with pure witchy vibes. Imagine a Southern fried hammer horror movie amplified with fog machines, gratuitous nudity, and delightfully stilted acting. While it's somewhat obscure, The Witchmaker is a hidden spellbook for those craving an uncompromisingly authentic witch aesthetic. Before Witchfinder General made its mark, Michael Reeves crafted a peculiar yet captivating creature feature blending gothic horror with slapstick comedy, The She-Beast. The story opens in the 18th century with the chilling execution of a witch by drowning, who swears vengeance from beyond the grave. Fast forward to the swinging 1960s, and a honeymooning couple unwittingly resurrect this malevolent spirit when the witch takes over the body of the wife. What unfolds is a wild ride mixing Boris Karloff-style horror with Benny Hill-esque chaos. Barbara Steele delivers a memorable performance as the possessed woman, her haunting eyes doing much of the acting. The resurrected witch emerges as a hideous hag tearing through the countryside like a vengeful zombie. Though the movie's low budget and tonal shifts can be jarring, the She-Beast's blend of creature feature, witch revenge tale, and a touch of British absurdity creates an entertaining and uniquely offbeat experience. It might not terrify you, but it certainly captivates with its strange charm. If you're intrigued by aquatic witch legends, then The Lurle's Grasp offers a uniquely eerie dive into German folklore. Centered around the myth of the Lurle siren, this film reimagines the creature as a mesmerizing yet deadly shapeshifter who lures unsuspecting victims along the banks of the Rhine River. Blending gothic romance with Euro horror sleaze, it presents a supernatural seductress who transforms into a scaly monster when provoked, delivering some surprisingly grim and grisly kills. The atmosphere is thick with fog and moonlight, evoking the feel of a twisted German fairy tale veering into dark fantasy. Though not a traditional broom-riding witch, the Lurle checks all the witchy boxes: curses, immortality, ritual sacrifices, and a chilling presence marked by her glowing eyes and blood-stained veil. This film certainly earns its place in the Witchcraft Hall of Fame, inviting viewers to open the door to a foggy world of enchantments and doom. In the fog-enshrouded town of Whitewood, Massachusetts, City of the Dead unfolds a chilling tale steeped in witchcraft and sinister secrets. This atmospheric horror film follows a determined college student who journeys to this bleak New England locale to investigate witchcraft, but soon meets a tragic fate. Her sister arrives to uncover the truth and discovers a centuries-old coven that continues to perform ominous sacrifices, pledging allegiance to Lucifer himself. Christopher Lee delivers a haunting narration, his voice setting the tone for this classic tale of hidden evil lurking beneath the surface of a seemingly quiet town. The film excels in evoking a stark puritanical mood combined with unmistakably American Gothic visuals. The streets are perpetually wrapped in glowing fog, captured beautifully in stark black and white, enhancing the suspense and dread. Rather than relying on gore, City of the Dead builds tension through a tight and foreboding atmosphere, weaving a suspenseful mystery reminiscent of a witch-centric psychological thriller. Its legacy lives on as a blueprint for countless later films about small towns harboring dark witch cults, cementing its place in the annals of occult cinema. Prepare to step into a world thick with Gothic shadows and eerie intrigue with Curse of the Crimson Altar. This film follows an antique dealer on a quest to find his missing brother, only to stumble upon a sinister coven of witches residing in a remote countryside mansion. The atmosphere is drenched in old-world mysticism, blending psychedelic dream sequences with mid-century occult pageantry. Barbara Steele delivers a mesmerizing performance as Lavinia, a centuries-old witch who emerges in haunting visions to mark her victims for dark rituals. Her striking presence, clad in black feathers and painted a haunting shade of green, embodies the perfect fusion of Gothic horror and satanic glam. The movie balances a trippy, late 60s counterculture vibe with classic horror motifs, creating a mood that is less about outright scares and more about creeping dread and spellbinding ambience. Featuring horror veterans like Boris Karloff and Christopher Lee, the film is a feast of devilish monologues and smoky, atmospheric scenes. Though it leans more on mood than jump scares, Curse of the Crimson Altar remains an essential watch for anyone enchanted by witchcraft's darker, more mystical side. Vincent Price takes center stage as the grim and ruthless Lord Edward Whitman in Witchfinder General, a harsh slice of period horror set against the chaotic backdrop of the English Civil War. Whitman serves as a merciless magistrate driven by greed and cruelty, zealously hunting down and torturing women accused of witchcraft. His brutal actions ignite the wrath of a real coven, led by the formidable sorceress Una. In retaliation, Una conjures a demonic spirit in human form that infiltrates Whitman's household, methodically targeting his family one by one. The film is rich with period detail, combining sensuality, violence, and historical costume decadence, enhanced by a darkly amusing title sequence crafted by Monty Python's Terry Gilliam. Though categorized as a banshee film, Una and her coven embody the quintessential witch archetype with their curses, rituals, and quest for vengeance. Vincent Price's chilling portrayal of a fanatical witch hunter provides a searing critique of the hysteria and societal fears that fueled the era's brutal witch hunts, offering a haunting, unflinching look at Witchfinder mania and its devastating consequences. Burn the Witch. Greetings, vault dwellers and all you spellbound weirdos. Ready your broomsticks and sharpen your sacrificial daggers because we're summoning something truly special today. Welcome to our countdown of 13 Wicked Witch B-movies, a devilishly delightful journey through cinematic enchanters, hex hurlers, and broom-riding bombshells who scorched their way through horror history. Since the silent era, witches have been staples of the silver screen, but in these B-movies, they truly come into their own. From cursed virgins to blood-soaked pagan queens, these witches have earned a notoriously bad reputation, accused of everything from nudity to necromancy, often within the same scene. Here on Retrovault, though, we know better. Everybody loves a sexy witch, especially when she's got bad intentions and terrible taste in men. So, whether you're Team Midnight Seance or Foggy Graveyard Gathering, buckle up. We're diving into 13 enchantingly low-budget encounters with the supernatural. Let the cackling commence. Our journey begins in a mossy Louisiana bog with a witchmaker. This tale follows a parapsychologist leading a band of psychic students into the Bayou to investigate ritualistic murders. Spoiler: they soon cross paths with a warlock and his irate coven. Expect a psychedelic mashup of voodoo, astral projections, and midnight bloodletting. Each witch embodies a distinct magical archetype: a necromancer, a clairvoyant, a seductress, and the main villain, Lucifer the Berserk, looks like he escaped from a biker flick into a satanic ritual. Cheap, campy, and bizarrely atmospheric, it's a slow burn dripping with authentic witchy vibes. Think Southern fried hammer horror, soaked in nudity, fog machines, and stilted acting. It's an obscure gem for pure, unfiltered witchcraft aesthetics. Next up, before making Witchfinder General, Michael Reeves crafted the she-beast, mixing Gothic horror with slapstick. Starting in the 18th century, with a witch drowned and cursing her executioners, we fast-forward to the swinging 1960s. There, a honeymooning couple unwittingly resurrects the witch, who inhabits the wife's body, unleashing chaos and carnage. Barbara Steele's brief yet unforgettable performance relies mostly on her eyes, conveying the terror of a hideous hag bent on revenge. It blends Boris Karloff-style horror with Benny Hill-esque absurdity, making it equal parts creature feature, witch revenge tale, and British farce. You might not be spooked, but you'll be entertained and mildly perplexed. Then there's the Lurle's Grasp, inspired by German folklore of the Lurle siren, a shapeshifter who lures victims to watery doom. Mixing Gothic romance with Euro horror sleaze, this aquatic witch toggles between seductive beauty and scaly monster, prowling foggy riverbanks with glowing eyes and a blood-stained veil. The kills are gruesome, the atmosphere eerie, and while she's no typical broom rider, she ticks all the witch boxes: curses, immortality, ritual sacrifice, earning her a spot in the witchy pantheon. In a fog-covered New England town, City of the Dead unfolds with Christopher Lee narrating a tale of a concealed coven that continues evil sacrifices centuries after the Puritan era. A college student investigating witchcraft meets an untimely doom, leading her sister to uncover sinister secrets. Despite its UK origins, the film nails American Gothic ambience with misty streets and oppressive sorrow. It's a masterclass in suspense, sparing gore but surging with atmosphere. Think Psycho, but swap the shower curtain for witchcraft. Moving on, Curse of the Crimson Altar, aka Crimson Cult, is packed with Gothic trappings, secret covens, psychedelic dreams, and horror legends like Boris Karloff and Christopher Lee. An antique dealer hunting for his brother instead finds a witch cult led by a haunting revenant named Lavinia, played immortal by Barbara Steele. Her black feather cloak and eerie green makeup personify 60s satanic glam. This film mixes hammer horror fog, late 60s counterculture vibes, and some occulty pageantry. Heavy on mood, light on fear, and a perfect showcase for classic horror icons chewing scenery amidst smoke and shadows. Vincent Price stars next in Witchfinder General, a grim period horror chronicling the ruthless witch hunts of 17th century England. As Lord Edward Whitman, a magistrate obsessed with witch persecution, Price embodies cruelty as he torments victims, angering a witch coven led by the sorceress Una. They retaliate by conjuring a demonic servant who exacts revenge upon his family. Rich with period debauchery, violence, and a Monty Python-esque animated title sequence, this is witch hunt cinema at its rawest, grim, brutal, and deeply unsettling. For skeptical viewers, Burn Witch Burn offers a psychological thriller set in Britain. Centered on a professor who mocks the supernatural only to find his wife secretly practicing witchcraft to protect him, the film spirals into curses, accidents, and mounting dread. Far from broomsticks and spells, it explores domestic occultism with shadows lurking just beyond sight, paranoia tightening its grip, and elegant scares that feel strikingly modern in their subtlety. The 17th century provides another chilling setting with Day of Wrath, an art house gem from Denmark. Revolving around the wife of a pastor ensnared in forbidden love amid rising witch hysteria, this black and white film is slow, stark, and devastating. The witches here are not caricatures, but women victimized by an oppressive system, a mournful precursor to feminist horror, emphasizing moral tension and tragedy over camp. Italian Gothic trash shines in Night of the Damned, a haunted house mystery sprinkled with cursed families, secret passages, and cryptic maids. Dubbed delightfully poorly, it revels in every trope: velvet capes, candlelit orgies, forbidden tones, evoking a Scooby-Doo meets Eurotrash spectacle. While critical acclaim debates its merit, its fun and atmosphere are undeniable. Stretching the witch definition, the Manitou features a Native American shaman's reincarnation battling dark forces inside a hospital setting. Amid psychic duels and cosmic chaos, it delivers exorcisms, astral realms, and a clash of ancient mysticism with modern science. Bonkers, but unforgettable, it satisfies an itch for magical resurrection and chaotic curses from a broader occult perspective. The surreal fever dream of Inferno, part of Dario Argento's Three Mothers trilogy, offers a hypnotic witch tale set in a neon-lit New York building concealing one of the world's 3 corrupting witches. Eschewing narrative clarity, it drowns viewers in eerie music, impossible architecture, and disorienting death scenes, blending blood and shadow into a chilling, dreamlike atmosphere that only Argento can conjure. Before we reach our conclusion, no witch movie list is complete without Black Sunday, Mario Bava's Gothic masterpiece. Barbara Steele stars in dual roles, both vengeful witch and innocent victim, in a haunting story of revenge centuries after being burned at the stake. Filmed in stunning black and white, with atmospheric lighting and an eerie score, this film oozes mood and terror and firmly establishes itself as a Halloween essential. Finally, revisiting Witchfinder General, loosely based on Matthew Hopkins' Real Witch Hunts, it's a sharp critique of societal fear driven by power and greed. This ruthless portrayal reminds us the greatest terror wasn't witches' magic, but the hysteria that men with control use to justify horrific atrocities. From misunderstood mystics to full-blown broom-wielding chaos queens, cinematic witches have evolved from shrieking villains to feminist icons. Sure, they still get burned now and then, but they always return, stronger and more captivating than before. Before you go, don't forget to delve into our other explorations of creepy characters and occult horrors. If you enjoyed this magical journey, please like, comment, and share with your fellow fiendish friends. And subscribe for more chilling content. Keep it weird, folks. Let's take a step into the world of austere witchcraft drama with Day of Wrath, set in 17th century Denmark. This film unfolds in a somber, monochrome palette, steeped in moral tension and the weight of impending tragedy. At its heart is the story of a pastor's young wife who finds herself caught in a dangerous web of forbidden love with her stepson while her town spirals into the frenzied hysteria of witch trials. Unlike the more flamboyant or supernatural portrayals, the witches here aren't caricatured villains with green skin or crooked noses. Instead, they are vulnerable women ensnared by a ruthless society bent on condemning anyone who steps outside rigid norms. The film captures the crushing atmosphere of fear and oppression, each flicker of candlelight felt as an ominous threat. Day of Wrath is an unflinching, poetic meditation on the tragic consequences of paranoia and fear, presenting what feels like feminist horror long before the term entered the lexicon. It blends the stark realism of Bergman's works with the relentless scrutiny of a crucible-like witch hunt. For those seeking a deeply haunting and serious exploration of witchcraft's destructive power on human lives, this is an essential and unforgettable experience. Italian Gothic horror delivers its most delightfully campy nightmare with Night of the Damned, a haunted house mystery steeped in witchcraft, curses, and every Gothic trope you can imagine. The story follows a journalist called to a remote castle haunted by a string of unexplained deaths. Upon arrival, He uncovers the harrowing secret that the family residing there is cursed by a coven of witches who are far from pleased about being forgotten. The film revels in old-school charm, featuring velvet capes, flickering candles, and eerie ancestral paintings, all set to the backdrop of a crumbling, ancient castle dripping with atmosphere. While the logic behind the plot stretches credulity and the dubbing leaves plenty to be desired, this only adds to the hilariously entertaining absurdity. The Witch's craft includes all the familiar elements: ancestral guilt, cryptic servants, secret passageways leading to doom, and the inevitable Camelot orgies. Though Night of the Damned may not win points for coherence, it excels in delivering a fun, trashy, Euro horror experience filled with cultish antics. Think of it as getting hexed by your high school theater club with all the gooey, cheesy delight that implies. If you're in the mood for some gothic witchy revelry and don't mind embracing the camp, this one's a must-watch for your wicked movie night. Let's dive into The Manitou, a film that might stretch the classic idea of witchcraft but still earns its place in this wicked countdown. The story centers on Susan Strasberg, who discovers a mysterious tumor on her neck. What seems like a medical anomaly turns out to be the reincarnating spirit of a 400-year-old Native American shaman. Enter Tony Curtis, and soon you're plunged into a wild mashup of psychic battles, laser beam confrontations, and surreal hospital scenes that look like they belong in outer space. Although The Manitou leans more into shamanistic magic than traditional European witchcraft, it delivers all the occult trappings you crave: curses, seances, and chaotic interdimensional showdowns. The film blends ancient mysticism with modern hospital technology in a bonkers story that's utterly unforgettable. If you're open to broadening your witchy horizons to include spiritual resurrection and primal curses, The Manitou scratches that magical itch with top-tier camp and overflowing chaos. Dario Argento's Inferno, the second film in his enigmatic Three Mothers trilogy, is a surreal journey into witchcraft unlike any other. Set against a backdrop of eerie neon lights and impossible architecture, the film centers on a New York woman who begins to suspect that her apartment building houses one of the Three Mothers, ancient, immortal witches who possess the power to corrupt the world itself. Rather than offering a straightforward narrative, Inferno immerses viewers in a hypnotic atmosphere filled with haunting music and disorienting visuals. The witches here transcend traditional broom-riding stereotypes. Instead, they wield reality-bending powers that melt the very fabric of existence. From underwater libraries to one of Italian horror's most unsettling death scenes, the film paints its chilling tale through blood, shadow, and mood. Though it may not have garnered the same acclaim as Argento's Suspiria, Inferno remains an essential experience for lovers of atmospheric, surreal witch cinema, a dream and nightmare entwined in haunting harmony. It's time to delve into Mario Bava's Gothic masterpiece, Black Sunday. This film tells the chilling tale of a witch who is burned at the stake, portrayed hauntingly by Barbara Steele in what is arguably her most iconic role. 2 centuries after her execution, she returns with a fierce thirst for vengeance against her descendants, and forgiveness is the last thing on her mind. Black Sunday is a triumph of atmosphere. From the cobweb-laden old castles to flickering candlelight, every frame oozes eerie elegance. Barbara Steele's piercing eyes, framed perfectly by the haunting lighting, convey both victimhood and villainy in her dual roles, making her performance one of the most powerful witch portrayals in cinematic history. The striking black and white cinematography adds a timeless, ghostly quality, while the score enhances the film's haunted sophistication. If Black Sunday isn't already part of your Halloween film rotation, it's time to make it so. This is witchcraft cinema at its most elegant, eerie, and influential. Vincent Price returns in Witchfinder General, a grim period horror set during the English Civil War. He portrays Lord Edward Whitman, a ruthless magistrate who eagerly tortures women accused of witchcraft, embodying the era's harsh societal fears about witches. The film follows Whitman's fatal mistake of inciting the wrath of a genuine witch coven led by the sorceress Una. In revenge, Una summons a demonic spirit as a human servant who infiltrates Whitman's household, methodically targeting his family one by one. Filled with period costumes, brutal violence, and a chilling atmosphere, highlighted by a striking animated title sequence from Monty Python's Terry Gilliam, this film blends the darkness of witch hunts with an unflinching portrayal of cruelty. Despite its brutal tone, the witches in Witchfinder General wield real power through curses and rituals, making it a stark, intense critique of the paranoia surrounding witchcraft and the devastating consequences of fear-driven persecution. Vincent Price's portrayal is one of his darkest, perfectly capturing the terrifying cruelty of an era where witches were enemies not for their magic, but for the fearful control men imposed upon them. From ancient misunderstood mystics to empowered broom-riding queens of chaos, witches in film have undergone a remarkable transformation. While they still face the flames of persecution on screen, their resilience and complexity have ensured they always return, reshaping their place in horror cinema. For those eager to delve deeper, be sure to explore our extensive coverage of other chilling characters and occult themes. Remember to like, comment, and share this magical journey with friends, and subscribe for more captivating content. Keep embracing the strange and wonderful world of the weird. If you enjoyed this magical journey through witchy cinema, please like, comment, and share with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more chilling and spellbinding content.